I've seen the impacts of this program. I've seen the kids come back when they graduate and they want their big there at their graduation, and they say, I wouldn't have been able to do this if I didn't have a big in my life, or someone showing me the light that I can go into trade school or I can go to college. So it just takes that person that has that spark that wants to, like I said, come in and make an impact and just have fun. And it's totally not a babysitter program. I can't tell you how many times I hear that the bigs are having more fun than the kids, the kids are always having fun, but the bigs are like, this is not what I expected. But coming into, Big Brothers Big Sisters Tampa Bay, this was more of a life changer for me. And I thought I wasn't going to have the time. And now I do. And now I make it a priority to make sure I see my little at least twice a month and build that bond with them.
We believe that you are strong by design, and you were made in God's image to have a strong body, mind, and spirit. You're listening to the #1 Strength and Health Authority podcast in the world. So let's get ready to unlock your potential and transform your life in today's episode.
Hello, and welcome back to the Strong by Design podcast. I am your host today, Coach Tanya. Happy to be back and sharing what's going to be an absolutely fabulous podcast with you today. I have a very special guest. Her name is Heather Hogsett. Did I say the name right?
Hogsett.
Okay, Hogsett. And she is the Senior Director of Big Experience with Big Brothers and Big Sisters here in Tampa Bay. Heather, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. This is such an honor to be on your show, and I'm very excited to chat with you further.
Oh, well, I'm really excited to have you on the show. And actually, just to give our listeners a little bit of a background, I'm a member of a networking group here in Tampa Bay called Strategic Partners. And every month we have a featured speaker who comes in to talk to our group about, their cause or their industry or just some specific thing. And it gives us a way to either further network, refer people, but it also, because we do a lot of philanthropic and volunteer work through that organization, it also gives us a better idea of some of the organizations out there and just exactly what they do. Because a lot of times we see and hear about these organizations, but we really don't know what all is involved or where the need is. And so Heather it's been a couple months already, came in and spoke to the group, gave an absolutely amazing presentation that had the entire room captivated. And I was like, I have to get her on the podcast because everybody in Tampa needs to hear more about this, because I think for a lot of us, Big Brothers and Big Sisters has been around for a long time. We are familiar with who they are, but there's so much that goes on. And there is a really big need that we're going to talk about. So first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got to be so involved with this group.
So I fell in love with Big Brothers Big Sisters dating way back. Even when I was in college, I wanted to give back and find something in our community to make an impact and dive into this full force. So I decided to look at different nonprofits. I ended up starting with a organization that worked with kids with special needs first. And then my passion was giving back to kids. After doing that for a little bit, I fell in love with the mission and story behind Big Brothers Big Sisters and decided to go full force with them. So I've been on staff with Big Brothers Big Sisters Tampa Bay for about 10 years now. So it's kind of it's been a journey. It's been a passion, and I love making an impact in our communities, so giving back to these kids.
And you certainly are, because I follow you now on pretty much any of the social media platforms you have, and I'm seeing all of the things that you guys are doing, and I see all of the things and events with all the kids. And one of my thoughts that is constantly going through my head is, when does this woman sleep? Because these are not just like small get-togethers. A lot of the stuff you guys are doing are big events involving some pretty high level, like celebrities and other like professional organizations in Tampa that are rallying around and offering support. And this is a tremendous amount of behind the scenes linking the chain together to make all of this happen. And I'm just amazed at what you're doing.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you so much. That's very rewarding to hear that. And like I said, I try to work hard for our community. I try to work hard for our kids to find the unique experiences out there. So I like to say we like to provide a world-class experience here at at Big Brothers Big Sisters Tampa Bay, and find those unique things. Like you mentioned, we partnered with different great places that give these opportunities to us to provide these free, unique experiences for the kids, such as going to goat yoga. I mean, some people look at me like I'm crazy. They're like, goat yoga. And I'm like, yeah, it's a thing. You get to go out there with your little and have fun. But I like to say we provide so many unique free opportunities to our bigs and littles to help take off that stress. So that way you guys can connect together, build that bond together. So that, like I said, it could be going to goat yoga. It could be going to a concert. It could be going to the movies. It could be something simple as just hanging out and having a conversation at a library and picking out your favorite book. It's all about basing that wonderful relationship around that child and building that nice bond together. But we try to help along the way with those unique experiences. And we have wonderful, great partnerships across our 9-county footprint.
Right. That's amazing. Now I want to talk a little bit about, you had a pretty high profile mentor in your life that you still are in contact with.
Absolutely.
Can you tell us about that?
Oh, sure. So when I was in high school, I locally went to high school here in Tampa Bay. I went to Gaither High School. Go Cowboys. But I actually was playing basketball there, and a gentleman was in the audience. His daughter played on the basketball team with me, and it was Tyrone Keys, who was a former NFL superstar in the game of football. He played for the world-class The Bears and also the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He saw the talent in me and said that I need to be playing at the next level. And he kind of took me under his wing and guided me to reach my dream of playing college sports. And I ended up getting a full scholarship at St. Leo University and playing basketball there. So go Lions. Got to stay local. But yeah, it's been a journey, and he has been definitely an inspiration behind a lot of the unique experiences, because one fond memory I have is he provided an opportunity to go see a Tampa Bay Buccaneer game. And I had never been to a Tampa Bay Buccaneer game before. And he provided a seat that was right in the end zone. It was like the front row fan seat. And I was just completely taken back. I had my mother along with me as a 17-year-old kid. I was like, this is such a unique experience. And I was like, this is something I want to do in the future. I want to give back to the kids on this level and provide stuff like this, because it was such a memory that I take with me I've taken with me for a long time, that I truly want to give back to the kids on that capacity. So because of his inspiration and his leadership, I was able to follow in that footprint and give back to our like the kids like that in Big Brothers Big Sisters.
That's an amazing story. And what I love about that story is how that connected with you at such a young age. And here you are today, like doing exactly like it struck you at such a young age and stayed with you to the point that, this is exactly what you're doing, is you're giving back. So I want to talk more about that, about the giving back. And for those people that, maybe don't know about Big Brothers and Big Sisters, or I'm not going to speak on behalf of everybody, but I wonder if sometimes people still feel like, well, it's just, you sign up and you get your little, and you take them out for ice cream once a week, or maybe you go to a movie or something. But it's after hearing you speak, it's a lot more involved than that. I'm not trying to scare anybody away from doing it, but there's so much more to it in terms of that connection and what it does for that child. So can you talk about that experience, and if somebody's like thinking about it, or like what is involved with being a big?
Okay, absolutely. So we totally, first and foremost, it's a huge area of need. We need more bigs. There's about 500 kids on the wait list right now across our 9-county footprint. So it is a huge area of need. I will say it's a fun commitment. And when I say a fun commitment, is we take the time to really learn about you, to learn about the child, making sure that we're making that nice, strong connection. So as you heard Tanya say, that we have our bigs, which are our caring adults, and they're partnered together with a little, who's a child in the community, and they're partnered together, and they get to go out and do all these fun, unique experiences. Now, the community. We have two main programs that people can get involved in. which is our community-based program, which is where you're signing up and you're going to go out to the child's home. You get to pick them up from their home, take them out in the community and spend time together. And that's where we provide those unique experiences along with the fun things that you want to bring to the table of making that impact in that child's life, along with our site-based program, which is a little bit of I would like to say a fun but strict program, because you're going out to that school site for 1 hour a week and making that impact strictly at the school site. So there isn't any like picking them up or taking them out or anything like that. And that rides right along with the school year. So there's a program out there for everybody. And we try to really hear what you're looking to do and find the right little, based on your background, how far they are from you, what your interest levels are. So that way we're making good, solid foundation matches to carry on for years to come. I mean, we want to see you stay with them all the way till they turn 18 or graduate. It's not just a 1 year deal. I mean, it's a life changer for some of these kids, and they love that. They look up to you and they see you as their superhero. We have the tagline in our program, defenders of potential. But a lot of these kids, they're looking up to you, and they see that superhero mentality in our program, and they want that from you. So that's the biggest commitment. The commitment's in your heart and giving back to a kid that's really in need, that might be at risk or lower income or may not have those experiences.
Right. It's such an amazing thing. I've never been involved in the program, but I remember when I was much younger, around 9 or 10, my cousins lost their dad. So they would have been like 9 and 7. And that's one of the things that my aunt had done, is she got her girls involved. And I know that I'm pretty sure they're still in contact with, because that woman became like family to them, because she was there. And, that's a pretty traumatic experience to be, that brings you to the program. But still, it isn't just like a babysitter. It's not a babysitting service, and with that, can you talk a little bit about on the parental side, like the parents that are like, what the impact is for them to have their child have a bake?
Absolutely. I mean, the parents absolutely love this program because of the opportunities that their kids may never get, So some of our parents have several children in the household, and they don't have the time to take them out one-on-one or provide that individualized attention, which is what our program really specializes in, is that nice one-on-one bond together between you and your little. So for the parents being in our program, it's like a team. I like to say we have you're fully supported from our agency. So you have a match support specialist that oversees your relationship together with your, all parties involved, the big, the little, the parent. With that being said, the parents, when they enroll their child into this program, they go through a thorough background check, making sure everybody is safe, making sure the little is finding the right big for them. And the kids have to truly want this program. I always like to say that right up front, that if a child comes in, they're like, no, I don't really want this, we unfortunately won't put that child on our wait list. They have to actually truly want this program, and the parents have to want this program, and it's like a whole buy-in in a sense. So that way these kids can get those opportunities and have fun and get a person that's interested in coming in and making an impact in a kid's life and opening them to new experiences. So I would like to say that the parents we have their buy-in on this. They love the support that they're being provided from our agency. And like I said, that we're not just matching you and saying, hey, good luck, hopefully everything works out, we'll check in with you when you're 18. You have that support specialist in our program that oversees that relationship, that's making those monthly calls, checking in with you, the parent, just everybody, to make sure everybody's having a great time, building that bond together, and just overall just having a great time in the program.
Right. That's, that is really amazing. And I can imagine, a parent that doesn't have the time, because whether it's work or the way life is, and just having that big around to know that your child is off having a really great time and getting some engagement and some one-on-one, just being able to breathe a little bit, knowing that, okay, I don't have to worry. Kids aren't home alone, beating each other up kind of thing.
Exactly.
Just have that kind of mentorship too, because I think sometimes, any of us that are parents, a lot of us, I think, will sometimes can agree with the statement or the comment or the thought that you can say something to your child or try to impress upon them something a million times, but the minute it comes from somebody else, they hear it, right? So
Well, it's very
also
common in our program.
yeah, and it's also so it's really a bit of parental support too, because I think sometimes these bigs can be, like that person that is listening, they're out, out doing something, and then your little is talking and maybe being like, wow, your mom's not wrong there, or hey, I agree with mom, or say the same thing that mom did, and all of a sudden it's like, wow, okay. So I just think that there's that statement, it takes a village.
Absolutely.
Right. So I think the more bigs that could get involved, the better. Now, when it comes to the littles, I'm sure there's some listeners wondering, like, are they all like little? Are we talking like 5-year-old? Like, do you come into the program and you get like a young little, or that's not always the case, is it?
So it's not always the case. So we have a little out there for everybody. Our target age range is between 5 to 13 years of age. So when you come into the program and you're sitting down and you're talking to us about the type of age range you want to be matched with, the type of little, type of background, that's something we really take into consideration. We want to make sure that if you're coming in and you're looking to have a little between the ages of 5 to 8, we want to try to find you a little between that age range, so that way you can, make that early connection and build that bond together. But there's a little out there for everybody. Our target age range, like I mentioned, is 5 to 13. But once you're matched with that child between 5 to 13, we want to see you stay with them all the way till they turn 18 or graduate, and then even go into our Big Futures program, which they could stay matched all the way till they're 26. So we provide those nice resources and opportunity. And like I said, it's just a lifelong mentorship in a sense. Once you're in our program, you're fully supported all through those young years and staying together and staying connected. We provide those resources for you. But overall, you're making an impact in the kid's life. And a lot of these kids, like I said, I've been with the organization for 10 years. I've seen the impacts of this program. I've seen the kids come back when they graduate, and they want their big there at their graduation, and they say, I wouldn't have been able to do this if I didn't have a big in my life, or someone showing me the light that I can go into trade school or I can go to college. So it just takes that person that has that spark that wants to, like I said, come in and make an impact and just have fun. And it's totally not a babysitter program. I can't tell you how many times I hear that the bigs are having more fun than the kids, the kids are always having fun, but the bigs are like, this is not what I expected. But coming into, Big Brothers Big Sisters Tampa Bay, this was more of a life changer for me. And I thought I wasn't going to have the time, and now I do. And now I make it a priority to make sure I see my little at least twice a month and build that bond with them.
Right. Lovely. So what do you look for? Who makes a good big?
We love all types of people. So our process is pretty simple. If you're interested in becoming a big, if you're a person, you're our person, right? So I like to say we accept all types of people. We're very friendly, and inclusive organization. What I love about our program is that we take the time to really thoroughly, we background check everybody, making sure everybody's safe and sound. So initially you'll go through an orientation. So if you're interested in becoming a big, you'll go through an online orientation. It takes about an hour and a half. You'll learn the ins and outs of our programs and all the details involved with becoming a big. See if it's a good fit for you. If it's a good fit for you, then you'll fill out an application. Once you complete the application, then you'll come in and do a fingerprint background check, which we take care of in-house. So there is no expense for you to be in this program. It's completely free. So we take care of that fingerprint background check, and then we complete an interview process. Now, the interview process is where it's about an hour or so, and we really sit down and we get to know you and ask a lot of personal questions, making sure we're creating, that bond, making sure we understand what you're looking to do in the program and who you're looking to mentor, where you're located, what's uncomfortable, what's not, so we really take the time to learn about you in that interview process. And then from there, we go into our base of kids and we find the right little for you. And then it transitions into a pre-match where we call you and say, hey, we found the right little for you. Here's where they're located. Here's the background. And this is where you, as the big, I like to say, ask questions. Make sure it's a comfortable fit. Make sure everything's right for you. And then once you say yes, the best part happens. And that's the magic time, I like to say, is where you get to meet your little, whether you're going to that site-based program, you're seeing them out at the school with your support specialist, or if it's community-based, you're going and seeing them out at their home. You're meeting their family. You're meeting all parties involved and building that bond. And then after that, your support specialist is checking in with you monthly to make sure that you're maintaining that relationship and building that bond together. So start to finish, it takes roughly 4 to 6 weeks to get you completely through the process to become a big. And then you're making that journey together as a big and little in our program officially.
That's so there you have it, folks. If you like what you're hearing, if it's something that's really resonating with you, it's certainly not difficult to become involved.
Absolutely.
Like, it's certainly not, it's not a pain, and it's definitely not a painful process to become involved either.
And I'll say one more quick thing too. Our biggest need right now is men. So
that's
all the men listeners out there, please, we need more men. We have so many little brothers on the wait list that just don't have a male role model. And that is such a huge area of need, especially as young men grow up. So in our program as well, like if you're, the men are automatically matched with little brothers, but women, because we have so many little brothers, we can match a woman with a little brother 10 and younger, or they can take on a little sister. So there's a plethora of options. And if you're a couple, I get the question, like, what happens if I'm a couple and I want to do this program as a husband, wife, or, spouses together? Can I do that? The answer is yes. There's a big couple program where you guys can come in together and you'll be matched together. You'll go through our process separately and then we'll match you guys together with one child, and it will be a little brother. And then you guys can, alternate on your outings and have fun together. So there's a lot of options out there for all types of people. I say the best way to, just check it out, see if it's for you.
Right.
Get involved.
So with that, do you have sort of events where it's kind of like, come out and meet us at Big Brothers and learn about the program and see if it's a fit for you? Do you have events like that people that are curious, they're not quite sure they want to commit or that they can? But do you have events like that people can go to?
Absolutely. So if you go onto our website, bigbrothersbigsisterstampabay.org, and you go under our event tab, you'll be able to see all the upcoming events that we have. We have multiple fundraiser events coming up. We have networking events coming up. I want to definitely I believe it's on the 14th. I want to say, hold on, let me double check my records here. Yes, Thursday, November 14th, we actually have our CEO, Chris Letsos, who is our newly named CEO. He's been on board for about 8 months now. Our original CEO, he had retired after 20 years. So again, we thank him for his service and his journey leading our ship. But we're super excited about Chris Letsos coming in and being our new CEO, and all the exciting changes coming about with our organization and the way we're going this year and for the future to make an impact in the Tampa Bay community. But he'll be speaking at the Center Club on November 14th. So definitely, if anybody's interested in that, please, we'd love to have you out there at that. And you can hear it from him as the CEO, the captain of our ship, I'd like to say.
That's fantastic. Well, I'll definitely be there because I'm at all those or most of those events at the Center Club. But yes, please, if it's something that you're listening to this podcast and you think, I can do this, or I really want to do this, but you want to know more about it, please check that tab on the website. We'll tell them again towards the end, like Absolutely. In a few minutes, we'll go where they can find you, but definitely check that out. But I'm going to challenge you, mark your calendars for November 14th and show up and hear. And there'll probably be some really nice snacks and stuff there too. And there's usually wine.
Snacks.
So always snacks, wine. So, we serve really good cheese at these things. Now, when you spoke to our group at the Center Club a couple months ago, you also shared a story, like an impactful story about a little and they're big. So I'm wondering if you could, it doesn't have to be the same one, but just share a story with our listeners, because that's where it really hits, is when you hear something like that.
Oh, absolutely. Well, one of my favorite stories I love to share is the story about a big brother who came into our program, who is a 66-year-old male big brother, and a little brother who he was matched with, who was 6. And they were dynamically different, but they were like the best of friends. And it was really cool because he was a huge football fan. I love to talk about football, apparently, but he's a huge football fan. And he wanted to take his little to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. So thanks to Levante David, he's one of our champions for the program. He ended up giving us some tickets that were lower level, and he got to take his little brother to the game. And he was so excited. He was like, I want to teach him the goal lines. I want to teach him the players, and I want to teach him every aspect about football. This kid's going to walk away knowing everything about football. I kid you not, they get to the game. They're so excited. Little brother's just ear to ear smiling, they get down to their seats. They plop down. Big brother, proceeds to tell him, the yard lines, the players, this guy, this is what they do. This is the ball. I kid you not, the little brother jumped up and he goes, "Oh, sparkly cheerleaders." He could care less about the yard lines or anything like that. He was 6. And it was an eye-opening moment for this big brother because it was funny. The 6-year-old little brother was looking, he saw sparkly cheerleaders. He saw Captain Fear. He saw beads being thrown. He saw the pirate ship to his right.
All the fun entertainment aspects of it.
Exactly. And it was so incredible to witness that. And the big brother goes, "Oh, I need to tone this down a notch and just have fun." That's my best piece of advice for this program is bring out your inner kid. If you could bring out that inner kid, have fun. Obviously, you're the adult. We want you to be the mentor and be that guidance for that child. But have fun. I can't tell you how many times people come into this program and they're like, I love this because I can have fun. I can bring out my inner kid and I can be myself. And that is one of my favorite stories because I just love that growth and that relationship.
That's really cool. That I do remember that is the story that you told us. We all burst out laughing because
I think it's the sparkly cheerleaders that gets everybody.
Cheerleaders. So it's so typical, like father, son going to a game and that bonding over sports and stuff. But when they're really little, a lot of times it's like, all the sparkly things that catches their attention,
Exactly.
that and the popcorn and the, like you say, the beads and the pirate ship and all of that. Cause there's so much going on at these events that it would be really, like you say, so refreshing, like to bring out your kid and kind of remember like when I was little, I really wasn't, this was the stuff that was fun. All the other things that were going on, the game was just sort of a byproduct of all the other things that I was really interested in.
Absolutely. We like to say those are those experiences that you get in the program, and it just creates that extra level of layer of bond together of just having those memories together. They're going to always look back and laugh on that. And, and that's the other thing is the age, he was like, "Well, I thought I was just too old for this program." No, you're not. We have all types of ages, all types of people, and we love people. We love people with good hearts and people that want to come in and make that impact.
Buddies. So there's definitely, we know there's a need for men to be bigs. So we're going to, when we're going to blast this out. So we really need men to step up and be big. So calling all men that you're listening to this and thinking, I got time. I got time in my life to do this. And, I think anybody that does it, again, what you get back, like just how you feel, like just having that time with your little and spending time with the younger person. I think it's definitely the littles. It's great for the littles, but it is so rewarding for the bigs. So calling out to the men, we need men to be bigs. Now, what about people that, I'm sure there's probably some people listening that are just, thinking, I love this program. I really do. I really want to somehow get involved. I don't have the ability to make that commitment, once a month, twice a month to, because we don't want people that say, yes, I want to be a big and then not show up, or they're constantly canceling, things like that. But there's probably people listening that would love to get involved somehow or give back. What are other ways that people in the Tampa Bay community can be involved with, give back, if they don't just have the ability to make that one-on-one commitment to be a in-person big? How else can we help?
Absolutely. I mean, there's a plethora of different ways to get involved into this program if you're not able to be a big. And I hear that often. So we look for different ways if people want to step up and be a part of a group. We have our leadership councils. It's a fun way to connect with other like-minded business professionals that want to make an impact for Big Brothers, Big Sisters and be that advocate for us. So there's ways to get involved in that. If you're interested in fundraisers, we have tons of fundraisers throughout the year. We just had our annual gala. There's tons of stuff. There's events out there for everybody. We actually have 2 upcoming events. One is our Play for Kids shoot. So that's coming up here on November 11th, and I can send out details for that. And then we also have if you're a golfer, we have a Kids for Company golfing event that's coming up in December. So we would love to have your involvement, your companies get involved. There are so many different ways to get involved in this program. And I promise you, it's a very rewarding and humbling experience to be a part of Big Brothers Big Sisters. I can't say it enough.
And all of this, the things that you're talking about, if people go to your website and click that events tab, that's where they'll find all of this?
Absolutely.
Perfect. So Heather, where can we find you? Like all of the places that we're going to now, for those of you listening, we will include it in the show notes, but if you have to be sitting somewhere on your phone listening to this, where can we find you? All of the places we can find you.
You can locate us on any of our social media channels. We're on Big Brothers Big Sisters Tampa Bay.org, which is our website. We have Big Brothers Big Sisters Tampa Bay, our Facebook. We also have Instagram, which is BBBS Tampa Bay _. And then we are also on LinkedIn as well. So however you want to get plugged in, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me at the agency as well. Tanya will provide my details and my contact information. I'm happy to answer any questions on this wonderful program and get you involved or plugged in where you need to be. Again, we have ways for you to get connected, and we would love that.
That is fantastic. So I do want to, well, when we're wrapping up here, I want to thank you so much for being on the show. I do want to have you back. I want to have you back around sometime in the beginning of the new year, because I want to see where we're at with our bigs.
Absolutely.
You know, how many more men we've got, just how many, you know, where the need is and what's coming up. Because I think this is something that really, really resonates with me. I love this organization. I have since I can remember. I was a little more involved with it when I'm from Canada. And so I had a business there, and I did things with Big Brothers, Big Sisters, you know, come like the holidays and things like that. So this is something that's always been on my radar.
Yes.
You know, so I really want to make sure that we keep the word out there. We keep promoting it, keep sharing events and details about the organization with Tampa Bay community, and certainly letting people know where the need is, like where, you know, what are the needs right now and what are the needs that you can see coming up that, you know, people in the community can come together and help out with, because we love Big Brothers, Big Sisters.
Thank you,
we want our littles. We want our littles to grow out to be happy bigs.
Absolutely. And I can't thank you enough for the opportunity to be on your show and share the message of Big Brothers Big Sisters Tampa Bay. I mean, like I said, such a rewarding organization to be a part of. We're so grateful for you being our champion and getting the details spread out there for us. We need you guys. So please, thank you so much for helping us.
You. Thank you, Heather, and thank you for everything you do for Big Brothers Big Sisters. I mean, you're such a huge, I know you work for the organization, but you're such a great voice of presence when you walk into the room and you start talking about it. If you ever get the chance, anybody listening, if you ever get the chance to listen to Heather speak about Big Brothers and Sisters, you must go, because your joy, your excitement, your passion for it is it just oozes out, and you can't help but be moved.
Thank you so much.
We talked about it. So it's really amazing. I felt very privileged to be able to attend that Strategic Partners that day that you spoke. And like I said, it just really hit something inside me. I'm like, I need to get on a podcast. I need to get more involved. And Heather, thank you so much. Like I said, in the new year, I do want to have you back on the show. And so we can keep talking about this really important group and what you're doing, and make sure that we create a really wonderful future for all of our littles.
Thank you so much. Again, humbling opportunity, and thank you for allowing us to share the mission of Big Brothers Big Sisters Tampa Bay and all you do for the community as well. So thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Well, there you have it, folks. That was Heather with Big Brothers Big Sisters. Please check them out on the website and all of their social media platforms. You will also find that information in the show notes. I will also provide Heather's contact information if you have any questions. She is amazing at responding. I don't know when the woman sleeps or gets anything else done, but she does respond. Please, I do ask you to please go to their website and check that events tab and just look and see if there's something there that, where you're able to show up and support and be a part of this, because it's a really, really important thing. Whether you have children or don't have children, we have children in this community that need bigs, and they need the mentorship, and they need the leadership, and they just need the compassion. They need people in their lives. So, and the parents that are involved in the program really, love that as well. They need that support as well. It's not just support for the children, it's support for the families, their families. So thank you, Heather. Thank you to our listeners. Make sure you share this podcast with someone. Give us a 5-star review. I'm Coach Tanya. We'll be talking again soon. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you so much for listening to the Strong by Design podcast. If you found value in today's episode, please subscribe so that more people can find out about our show. Plus, you don't want to miss any future episodes with the amazing guests and topics we have lined up for you.